This is my mechanical rear-wheel drive 2-speed 1-reverse transmission with boxer engine car, and today I'm going to show you how it works. First, we'll start from the power source, then the other parts. The engine. Engines in a car is used to produce power to move the whole car. In real life, it's also used to produce electricity for the car interior as well. This is the boxer engine piston configurations. It allows the hovers to push to a different direction so that the car won't get moved by the hovers instead of the wheel. This configuration also reduces a lot of vibration coming from the engine itself by cancelling each other piston's momentum. However, what's different is that this camshaft is directly connected to the crankshaft. This camshaft works by moving this text in a circular way without rotating it. Then that movement will be converted into a linear movement by the suspension right here. This linear movement will then move the signs, which will then controls the timing of when the hovers could push itself. You could learn more about how to make your own custom engines from the link in the description, or you can click this card in your top right video corner. The clutch. The clutch is used when you're about to stop your car without needing to turn off the engine. It's also useful when you're about to change gears, making it easier for the second gear to match the speed of the engine by detaching the engine power from the wheel. It's also making it easier for the transmission input gears to slow down and finally match the output gear speed. To make that action possible, first we need a 5x5 cylinder that's connected with the engine crankshaft. After that, 2 friction discs will then get pushed into the cylinder. When a force is applied to the friction disc through the piston power, those will connect the engine's rotation with the wheel together by friction. What's interesting here is that it only uses one piston to push both 2 friction discs. The piston head is used to push the first friction disc, while the piston body is used to push the second one. Because of this, when applying force to the friction disc, the piston will move forward and backward. That's why there's also a suspension used to lock the output rotation in the same place. Smooth accelerator. This might be the simplest thing in the car, but also quite useful one. With this, it makes the wheel accelerate smoother, and because of the smoother acceleration, it also reduces slip in the wheel when first accelerating or when fully accelerated. Let's think of it as the suspension for the car acceleration instead of the car stability. This makes the car speed much more stable as well. How is that possible? The engine works by piston pushing in different crankshaft angles. When the piston pushes, it makes a strong push in the crankshaft, resulting in a sudden speed increase in the crankshaft. Those will also disturb the passenger comfort by the slightly unstable RPM in the engine. To prevent this, 2 suspension is placed in the same outer position of the rotation. When the car first accelerates, those 2 suspension will be compressed. While compression happens, the suspension also accelerates the wheel very slightly. Those small acceleration is what's keeping the wheel at 0 velocity during the first acceleration. Transmission. We all know that, for example, when a small gear is connected with the big gears, the small gear will rotate at a much higher speed than the big gear. However, more torque is produced in the big gear. By changing gears, the car could receive a faster acceleration. Not just acceleration, the transmission will also adjust the engine's power to the state of the car. For example, when climbing hills, high torque is required. So you change the gear to the first gear, which means the small gear rotates the big gear. The gear changed by a sliding mechanism. Sliding small gears to big gears, even reverse. Once again, this transmission topic will be explained in another video on how this type of transmission works in a 2-speed 1-reverse transmission. And that's it for part 1 of how this car works. Later in part 2, I'll be explaining on how the suspension works, the connectors, steering and other things. Feel free to ask me anything about the part of the mechanic that you still don't understand. If the question is important enough, I'll be putting it in the top comment section. Thank you for watching and see you next time.